you, bro.
Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation.
So you can kill them off. Jump to 32:1. Same chapter.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Upmake us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Right. So they know not what become of him. That shows how their faith failed them right there. Were they not Israelites? Did they not see the miraculous things that he did for them? And in that short period, they lost their faith. Right? Hey, build us calves. And what do they go to?
That's all it takes for a 2/3 up.
Right. That's why Jacob's trouble, they're going to lose that famine of the word is going to be devastating to a lot of 2/3.
They ain't got nowhere to turn.
Right. It's easy to stay up, but you got videos, you got
food.
Right. Time and knowledge right now. But what happens when all that falls away? Just like Job, you're left with nothing. Men that go to jail. I actually, do the spirit brother, I had a dream that all the brothers in the truth got locked up in one prison cell. One man got separated, and he lost it. And what it was he wasn't strong by himself. He was strong when he had all the brothers. But when he was set apart,
it reminds me of
that. He lost everything. He was climbing the wall. That's how scary he was. And in my heart, I was like, bro, you couldn't speak to him, but I was like, just stay strong, bro. Just stay strong. I was telling him.
Don't lose your integrity.
It reminds me of that verse where Yahweh says, when one sheep go off, you don't worry about those 99 sheep. If you have 100, you worry about that one.
Right. Because it's actually more vulnerable being by itself than those 99 sheep. You know? And that's like a man outside this truth too. And when Jacob's trouble happens and you don't have that understanding, you didn't build up that oil like the wise, hey, you ain't going to be able to see very long. It's only going to last you. That wick is only going to burn for so long. Keep going, brother.
And Aaron said unto them, Break off your golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives and of your sons and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Right, and with Aaron, he was the high priest. Without without Moses there, what happened? He succumbed to their peer pressure. They peer pressured him into building a god. And he said, all right, just give me all the earrings. Come on. Man.
And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So now they're giving all glory that was Yahweh's
to Baal.
Yeah, to some demon ass shit, Hey, now jump down to 11 real quick.
11. And Moses besought the Lord his power.
Yahweh, brother. Because when it's capital Lord, it's Yahweh.
Oh, okay. And Moses besought Yahweh his power, and said, Yahweh, why doth thy wax hot, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand?
Right.
Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth?
And you know why he's doing this? He really cares about the Israelites.
So much that he would do that.
And he's actually naive to them. Because you got to remember, Moses, he did know who they were, but he grew up prince of Egypt, right? And when he did become a man, he was cast out because he killed that Egyptian, and his own brother was like, who made you Lord of us?
You gonna kill me next?
Yeah. So pretty much he was separated from his people, so he didn't really know their integrity, Right?
Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven.
And you know what he just did there? He didn't fight the Most High. He was using the scripture just like Yahweh Shai did in Matthew 4. As it is written, do you not remember your promise? Of course he remembers. But he's just saying, he's like a lawyer in a courtroom that's trying to persuade a judge to rule on their side.
Bringing up the law.
Right. Edification of, hey, this is why you should be for me, Lord.
And the judge rules in favor of which one is more according to the law.
Right. Go ahead.
And
there's men actually that do it, but for wicked reasons.
And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahweh repented of this evil which he thought to do unto his people.
Right. So he changed his mind. Right.
And Moses turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides, one on one side and one on the other, and on the other were they written.
Right. So the two stones. Okay. Now jump down to 17.
And when Joshua had, when Joshua heard the noise of this people as they shouted, he said unto Moses, there is a noise of war in the camp.
Oh, and that's Jake right there. You hear a bunch of Jake women all loud and shit. You're like, what the fuck is in a fight? And they're just talking to each other. But that's how they are. They're pretty much in the celebration. Right? Like last night, I came home, I went outside, and I heard everybody's in a drunken party right now, right? Last night, couldn't see. I thought some fighting was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, damn, there must be fighting.
All you hear is the screams.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome, but the noise of them that sing do I hear.
Right. So they're not mastery, meaning you're training. Right?
Practicing.
Yeah, they're practicing for war, for something that's worth a while. Mm-hmm. No, it's for vain.
They're just partying.
Yeah.
And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing, and Moses' anger waxed hot. And he cast the tables out of his hands, and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made, and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and stawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink it up.
And made them drink of their own sin.
So their own wickedness,
Yeah. Pretty much make them eat their own shit.
But you want to worship it, drink it.
If you got any, then you brother got any. And now we'll go ahead and jump back on that wisdom of Solomon.
Alright, this is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 13. No, verse 14. For he created all things, that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful. And there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal. But ungodly men with their works and words called it to them. For when they...
So, with their own mouth, they called destruction to themselves.
Slip on the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it. For the ungodly said, this is chapter 2, for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright.
Right there. The ungodly is going back to Esau, Edom, but 2/3 of our people took on that mentality. They actually do the same thing. And what did the Israelites? They had the same mentality of those Egyptians, right? So what did Egypt have? They had idols. So when Moses, in their reasoning said, oh, Moses must be dead. Hey, build an idol. What is that? Egypt. Bring back that old Egyptian shit.
Egypt, that old mentality, bring it back.
That's what that
No
RFID.
faith.
There's no food. There's no elders. There's no prophets. There's no unicorn.
Feminine spirits.
Oh, they're gonna go get the chip. You got your woman whispering in your ear. The baby's crying.
We ain't eating 3 days. Get that chip.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna have like buy one get 3 free specials.
Bro, and you know how it said that it wasn't for mastery. I mean, 2/3 of our people ain't gonna take the chip to even eat. They're gonna take it so that they can go to a club, like they're doing down in South America.
Go so they can go to a football game.
Yeah, it ain't even so they can eat. It's so that they can attend a football game.
This is way before that Venezuelan crash.
Yeah.
In South America, Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, they have their diehards, as they call it, football fans,
Fanatics.
are getting chips implanted into them just to get into the game. It means you're a lifetime
and that's
member.
just conditioning them in those third world countries first.
They already got the chip.
Yeah.
Like they literally
But
got
like I
the
said,
RFID chip. No.
It's not even like they were partying for training.
It was before. This was before their economy crash.
Right.
This is before all that.
2/3 of our people ain't even gonna take the chip to eat.
They just want to take it just to take
Just
it.
to get into a nightclub.
Club 4040, take the chip. It's free.
And then it's gonna be an upgrade. Oh, now you can buy food with it too now.
Jordans, bro.
Oh, I got
The first
upgrade.
20 to get the chip get the
I got my
Jordans.
chip upgraded today.
They'll have a Jordan chip with the Jordan on it.
But that's how
the
destroyed our
iPhone
people
comes
are.
out every year. They're gonna have an upgrade.
I can see that too, Jake. Oh, that has the Jordan on it. I want it. Let the Jordan glow in my hand.
How's it glowing?
Yeah.
Yeah, my chip's shaped like a Jordan.
Yeah. They're gonna be, got a little sticker on it and shit. Like you see Jake doing it, driving down the street. They got Jordans on a Cadillac.
Yep.
The symbol. They got mud flaps with Jordans on them.
Yeah.
Our people are simple, man. It's not very hard for the Edom to fuck them up.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 1. I'm sorry, chapter 2 and 2. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been.
So adventure means danger. So pretty much us just being born was dangerous. And now that we're alive, how did you survive what does it say? Even Esau, he says our flesh is the softest material in existence.
That's your first line of
Yes,
defense.
there's a 1,000 ways to die. People die all the time. But the Lord preserved the elect so that they could prophesy and one day rule with Yahushua. 2/3, they were delivered this long for judgment.
For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart.
I mean, very short. We're not here for very long. So what does 2/3 do? Take advantage of it, right? They try to do everything, right? Fucking homosexual acts to whatever kind of drug they can come across. While the elect, they're going to use that time to prophesy and do every righteous act possible.
Which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance. And our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud.
And that right there is what deceives the 2/3 to, hey, you know what? I got to do what I got to do right now. It's an opportunity. Right?
That's that YOLO mentality.
And it goes to show you that yellow spirit isn't nothing new.
Nah.
There's nothing new under the sun. That's been around.
Hey, why does America spiritually Egypt? We went into, they're going back to Egypt, what they did to us, and just using it again.
With better technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the holidays, everything, the whole nine. You know, that they in Egypt they used the palm tree, now they're using the pine tree, in America, for the Christmas today.
Which are both hard ass trees. And our people are both stiff necked ass people, you know?
Our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof.
I mean, the sun literally, if you sit out there long enough, it'll cook your ass. Right? That's how weak and feeble these bodies are. But the Lord preserved the elect for righteousness' sake, and the 2/3 for judgment.
For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and our end is, and after end there is no returning.
Right. And you know what that just made me think of? With the Spirit? That's the separation of the 2/3. The elect are like, man, there ain't enough time. That's why you see elders and brothers put up videos at different times of the day, right? But the 2/3, hey man, I ain't got time to go preach, man. I ain't got this much time to do what I got.
Ass backwards,
Mm-hmm.
their mentality.
Yeah, we think of it as a limited time to do righteousness. They're thinking of it as a limited time to do wickedness.
For it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in the youth.
Right? So what do they say? Come on, let's take advantage of this, man. You know? Because right when they find out time is short, what do you think is going to happen in Jacob's trouble when they find out there's no cops, you can do what you want?
Rate's gonna go up.
Oh.
People are gonna be kidnapping and keeping torture pets.
Yeah.
And
Eating people.
And then it says here, like as in the youth, symbolizing without wisdom, you know?
Like a child.
When you're young, you don't have that wisdom.
Right.
You know?
If you leave two kids
We didn't
alone
have
to
that
each
wisdom.
other, they're going to rape each other, do some
They're
shit.
gonna do some stupid shit, huh?
Right. Because they don't have no understanding.
And they're trying to figure out
the
without
blind leading
guidance.
the blind. That's how 2/3 are. 2/3 are pretty much blind leading the blind. Brother, grab 26 and 8 when you brothers, Deuteronomy.
You got it?
Yeah. It's Deuteronomy chapter 26, verse 8. And Yahweh brought us forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs, and with wonders. And he hath brought us into this place, and hath given us this land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land which thou, O Yahweh, hast given me, and thou shalt set it before Yahweh thy power, and worship before Yahweh thy power.
Right, so that's an elect mentality right there. Now, let me grab this other one real quick. If you want to grab Exodus 16:3.
Come.
Okay, so that's the elect mentality right there. The Lord brought us out with marvelous works, right? Beautiful things, right? It's strange to everyone else, but it's beautiful to us. Jacob's trouble. Even the elect can see the beauty in Jacob's trouble. But then the 2/3, go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 16, verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to power we had died by the hand of Yahweh in the land of Egypt.
Oh, man, I wish Yahweh would have killed me there.
That's what they're going to say there. I wish we would have went down. We got killed before this Jacob's trouble we're dealing with.
Yeah, before the dollar
We
crashed.
want America back.
He should just let me die. And some people probably overcame cancers, all kinds of shit, right?
Just to get to this point.
Because they're going to have that mentality of like, oh, why can't things be the way they were? And I think it's Proverbs is where Solomon says that, hey, that's a foolish question to ask.
Right.
You know, you don't want to be. That's a dumb question to say. Why aren't things
Never.
from the good old days?
Good old days, right? Who pushes that?
Esau.
The good old days. Even Trump said that.
Make America great again.
Right.
Continuing, it says, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger.
And what's a flesh pot? A bathtub.
God.
Right?
They're like, we were living lavish, we were eating.
Right, we had running water.
Now we're dirty and we're hungry.
And now we gotta go to the well to get water. We just came out of the tap, remember? We had refrigerator, you pushed it, and it was cold water, didn't even need ice.
This is salvation.
We got flavored water. Yeah, they're gonna be upset. But the electric will be like, man, all that shit is gone now.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to pay for that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Gotta lose those that.
Ain't gotta worry about go to a fucking job.
Or that tap water was poisoning you. You get fresh well water now.
Right. Your women, They're gonna be more in subjection.
They're not working for another man. They're not around that environment. They're only with
that
you.
fear of the Lord is gonna come upon those women and the righteous ones that that the Lord preserves for the elect men. Those women, like with the brother got, there's not many righteous women, if any, but they're gonna be more in subjection to us, to their husband anyway, because of that fear. So it's gonna be even more beautiful, bro. For the elect men anyways, but the 2/3 mentality is gonna...
We're gonna get that title of God in their eyes, master.
Yeah, but the 2/3, they're gonna fucking exploit it and actually murmur about it.
I gotta take care of all these women.
Yeah. Shit,
they're gonna curse their life,
women.
They're gonna curse their life like Job's wife.
Come. Go ahead, brother. And some women might. In that time of Jacob's trouble, you lose something. Say the cops come and get you, put you in jail. Guess what? You think your woman might stay? No, I don't think so. Some of them will leave you. Shit. The elder Apostle Gabar said a woman left him because of his beard. His woman. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily.
Right.
And Moses and Aaron said unto all the children of Israel at even, then ye shall know that Yahweh hath brought you out from the land of Egypt.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it is going to know. Because in that time, it's going to be hard for some, and it's going to be able for others, And just like you said, now we'll be able to go to the well and get some water. Something, we're going to be fed through beautiful ways, but the 2/3 are going to see it as the Lord failed them, and they're going to complain and talk shit. Murmur. They're going to let a man take their crown, because guess what? When that happens, the number one opportunity that they're going to see is a false prophet. And they're going to be like, hey, let's build a golden calf. Right? Let's take the chip.
Jesus.
Yeah. Why do you think their Christianity is so, like, here it's pretty heavy, but if you go to like Asia or Africa, shit, those people will kill you if you disrespect Caesar Borgia. Because they're in such a low state, they take whatever they could get. That's like a prostitute. Like those girls, we just talked about it earlier. In Venezuela, the economy crashed so bad, they said younger than 14-year-old girls are prostituting. Why? Because they're just trying to get what they can get. That's a 2/3 mentality right there.
Let me get what I can get.
Right? And all a girl got is her sloppy pussy.
That's it.
Right? Unless she's a woman of integrity, and then she knows a man that's worth more than gold. And then that's different in their place too. How far did you get on that too?
Verse 6.
That's good. On that one, I meant the Wisdom of Solomon.
Let's see. I'm on
7, I think.
8. Yeah, 7. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 7. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us.
Right, and that means enjoy your life to the fullest.
Get the best.
You can't just pass the roses. You got to stop and smell them.
You got to pick them out and put them in your hair.
Yeah.
Got to Instagram it.
And that's Esau right now, bro. He's the only one that can really do that shit. Jake's trying to do it, but they're driving themselves mad.
Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place.
You know what that reminds me of though? Nacho Libre. Remember when he left the...
Oh, when he got money?
No, when he got the covenant, or left the covenant, their covenant.
Oh, yeah.
And he was sitting outside and he made that little stupid hut, and it's not even like protection.
Yeah.
But he was out there and he was like...
said he was in the wilderness, he's like just a few feet away.
Yeah, but he chops the top of that fucking cactus and drinks it. Next thing you know, he's like... and that's what he was doing. He was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
Didn't even know what he was doing.
That's the truth there. They're going to be like, let's make crowns for our hair with flowers. Blueberry patches,
Okay.
For this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor, righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. That's just saying they don't want to respect
The elders.
the elders.
I was like, that's exactly what these reprobates are doing today with the apostles and elders.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've been in this truth for 5 years. You
They
don't know
crown
nothing.
themselves with flowers.
We're next up.
What happens to it? It withers away. That's why
Get
they
exposed, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like IUIC right now.
That they're not of the spirit.
Adam and Eve, they covered themselves with fig leaves.
Come on.
That's a metaphor. That ain't talking about them walking around in fucking leaves.
They lost the
Sin was
spiritual
the
covering.
nakedness.
Right. They're ashamed.
Their shame, huh?
That's how they're gonna be out here. 2/3. Once that dollar crashes, their shame is gonna be revealed, man.
How broke you really are spiritually.
Yeah.
You can hide it physically. Oh, I got a
they're
new
gonna
ring.
commit suicide. They're gonna lynch themselves out here. Maybe kill their family and everything.
And then
else.
take themselves calm.
Yeah.
Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
Those men that are gonna take up the sword and be like, oh, they think they're like a gang. Let our strength be the judge. Who's ever stronger?
Let's show you that in the first purge.
That ain't gonna work though, cause look at David and Goliath.
Or look at these drones they got. They don't even have to send a man in. They'll send a drone in with a bomb and just
Come.
little smart nuke.
Poison, bro. They can drop poison in the river. You drink it, and guess what? Anybody that touches it down the river is gonna die.
Done.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
Hey, and what is that? Then we talk about the chip. Ain't there gonna be 2/3 that actually hunt the elect? They're gonna try to catch the elect
For a little incentive.
right there, cause he's not for our turn.
He don't want the chip.
Yeah.
He ain't trying to be saved.
And he is clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. And the objective.
And what is that? He rebukes them.
Mhm.
You know. And why do they hate the elder apostles of Great Millstone? Because they rebuked them.
heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like why they hated Yahweh Shai. They chose Barabbas, a known zealot and murderer, over Yahweh Shai, who was innocent because he rebuked them.
Right, because they want that wickedness.
Come on.
They want to actually justify themselves by their own strength.
And objective to our infamy, the transgressings of our education. And that's what they've been taught, all this Esau system.
And Esau knows they're weak. That's why the infirmities. He uses their lack of faith to exploit them. That's why they fucking believe in the earth is 65 million years old. They believe we came out of monkeys. Because Esau used your weak ass mentality, your weak ass mind,
Your foolishness.
and he weakened it with fluoride, aluminum, homosexuality constantly on the TV,
Come on.
raised by a single mother. So then guess what? He made that weak mind even weaker.
And he never stops.
Now he's like, all right, crash the dollar, bring out the chip.
Got him.
And 2/3 of our people are like, let me grab the scripture real quick. Ecclesiastes 7:10. It says, say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou does not inquire wisely concerning this. Why? Because you're pretty much saying the Lord, he ain't working no more.
God,
And he's always working.
you're acting like Trump, asking that, you know, let's make America great again, like you said.
Mm-hmm. And that's pride.
And not only that, just if you think about it, when you're thinking like that, that just means you're depressed now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a lowly state if you're wishing for the old times, you know?
Oh, yeah. And really, what he's wishing for, Trump, is he's talking about when the Ku Klux Klan was lynching Jake from trees.
Those are his
Huh.
goals.
Yeah, alligator bait. That's what he's talking about. 2/3 of our people, they're going to be talking about when Edom was ruling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When they're in Jacob's trouble. Because he's going to come down and he ain't going to sort out the 2/3 from the elect. He's just going to kill.
Gonna kill everything.
Yeah. And they show that in that movie Purge where they just kick the door in and go. Go ahead, brother.
This is Wisdom of Solomon 2:13. He professes to have the knowledge of Yahweh, and he calleth himself the child of Yahweh. He was made to reprove our thoughts. He is grievous unto us, even to behold.
Right, so they hated Yahushua just like they hate the elect men today.
Just to look at him.
Right? You put yourself equal to Yahweh?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Even your family members, man.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him.
Oh, women, tell them, hey, your salvation is through marriage to a man.
And only.
I'm married to Jesus.
We'll find out. Like you said, you can test the Most High, but it's clearly written. Salvation for a woman is through childbearing.
Right. But like it's salvation for us is marriage to Yahushua.
We're the woman.
Yeah. Woman just means a female servant. Female means faithless.
Which we were at one point.
Mm-hmm.
For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits.
Right. And 2/3 of our people are counterfeit. They may look like an Israelite, but they are not. They are heathens.
Mm-hmm. And they may even pose to be an Israelite in truth. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and there is some. Grab Matthew 7:21. 7:20. Started 20. And there's actually men that are teaching in multiple camps. Like the elders been getting on it all morning about all these men that ain't pushing the RFID microchip. Right? You got IUIC, ISUPK, We Got Next. I mean, it's endless. And they're still popping up out of the woodwork.
And he's saying some of them are preaching it, but they're not preaching it with authority.
Yeah,
they're kind of like, it might be the microchip. Or
because they don't truly believe.
They don't have the faith.
Right? They truly don't believe. So they're counterfeit. Counterfeits look like the real thing.
But it's not.
But it's not. It even reads the same, but it has not the same authority.
Fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
It's not even metal. It's petrified wood.
It looks like gold.
But it's not. It doesn't have the same weight. It's not even metal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing. They're fool's gold.
And 2/3 of our people have been took by fool's gold. And that's why when they see the real gold, they don't have the wisdom to understand it because they've been offended so hard their conscience is seared shut.
Con.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew 7:20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. Just like we were talking about, gold, right? You'll know fool's gold by what you can purchase it with. What purchasing value does it have?
None.
Nothing. So it's a counterfeit. That's the same thing in this truth. You can test a man's spirit to what value he actually has by what fruit he can purchase, but what he bears. And I'm not talking carnal fruit, I'm talking spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like we were talking about, the outer's been out there for over 30-something years, right? Who's rebuking the men out of love? If it ain't the outers of great wisdom. I don't hear Nate correcting anybody.
If anything, he justifies
The
wickedness.
Right. ISUPK, you know, they're not correcting nobody.
Con.
Some of
GOCC
them-
especially.
Yeah, they're saying Edomites can make it.
Or you can do your woman in the butt.
Mm. Go ahead.
Many will say to me in that day,
And that's why you got to know, if you're wise, there's traps set up to catch those counterfeits. Just like when you're fanning for gold, do they not have different levels so when the gold will sink to the bottom so they can capture it, but then they separate the middle,
By weight.
yeah,
Pure gold is a lot heavier than 50% gold mixed with something else.
or just a different kind of material.
Con.
many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name?
Right, prophesying in thy name, meaning they have the name and they're prophesying, just like we said, these other camps. They have the name, but they're prophesying at the same time, saying Jacob's trouble is coming. I just heard of another group. I did a sit down on them. They're saying that the mark of the beast is the love of money, and also that they knew though the name, and they knew that Esau was the so-called white man.
But they don't push it.
But yeah,
Have to scroll.
right? Go ahead. Or watered down. You know, you got wine and you water it down.
That's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy
They
name
know who
done many
Esau is?
wonderful works.
Right? They've seen miraculous things happen. They've seen the chariots.
And then will I profess unto you, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Right? Because they're counterfeit.
Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock.
Which is that Yahushua. Yahushua is that rock.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and
Jacob's
beat
trouble.
upon that house. And it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock.
I mean, they won't, their integrity
They're gonna be able to
will
endure.
remain.
That's literally the story, and I hate that they use pigs, but the story of the three little pigs.
Mm-hmm.
You build your house with the right material. When the time comes, it's not going to fall,
Right.
and you're not going to be destroyed.
Come.
2 of the 3 pigs, the 2/3, built their house out of the wrong material, and their houses were destroyed.
Right.
But that 3rd pig, that 1/3, had the brick and the mortar and a solid foundation, and the wolf couldn't blow the house down.
Right.
Esau's that wolf. Esau can't blow down the house of the 1/3.
And then that's
That's
Esau,
the house of David.
That's Esau just perverting that story using
Using
swine.
some pig.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it showed him the wolf though.
But he's like, I know I'm the wolf. I'm coming for the.
Yeah, I want it.
Really, it's sheep. It would be sheep because we're the sheep.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's perverting it. We're
He's a wolf in sheep clothing.
there. You go.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand.
Right, and that's a 2/3 right there.
Oh man.
Also, if you think about it, all these stories and myths in the world came out of our
The
truth.
Bible, yeah.
Right. Egypt, where did they get their whole story of Horus and all that? Was from us.
Mm-hmm.
Our fables.
Right. Esau, the 3 pigs. Right?
It's the story of these of the
Yeah.
Israelites.
Yeah, the Israelites. 2/3 and 1/3. Go ahead.
And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house that it fell, and great was the fall of it.
Right. So 2/3, he's gonna fail in Jacob's trouble. Pretty much coming to that chip. He's gonna take that chip, the mark of the beast. Is that it on there?
I'm on 28.
Yeah, that's good. Billy. Let me know where you're at. Are you on 30 chapter?
Not yet. Oh, I'm down there. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him.
And you know what that is? Yahushua was crucified. And what they say? He saved others, let him save himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll believe.
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock.
And deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture.
Judas. Why did he bring the soldiers against Yahushua? He was expecting Samson. You know?
We're expecting like him to fight.
Yeah.
And Yahushua did show spiritual power by not letting him touch what was it, Peter, John, and I'll shoot the 3rd one.
Which one?
That were with him in the garden, where he the soldiers were trying to capture them all, and he put his hand forth and knocked them all back. So it wasn't
And,
like
that's I know which one you're talking about.
it wasn't like he couldn't like stop them all and just like, oh yeah, I'm the man. He's like, prophecy has to take place.
Fulfilled.
It had to be fulfilled. You can't stop.
Oh,
Even a
that's
man
like
like
the elect
Yahushua.
men. There's going to be elect men when their time comes and they're not going to cry or defend themselves.
We're just gonna take that
It has to be
Yeah.
fulfilled. You got it.
'cause we know
Lord
there's a
willing.
reward.
You get the strength. If you have to be one of those men who has to face death, you get the strength to go through. Because that's an honorable thing. To face death for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to be resurrected with
That's
him
just
first.
taking on the spirit of Yahweh Shai, you know, if we are in that situation.
Like with Stephen, when he was about to be stoned, he looked up into heaven. He wasn't looking around at the crowd saying, "Oh, who's got the biggest stone?"
And then he
Oh,
fell
that's gonna
asleep.
hurt.
He fell asleep.
I can
His
bet
eyes
you he
were
didn't
on
even
the
feel it.
prize.
He didn't even feel it. He was just looking up at Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai saying, "Hey,
He was so overtook by it
He didn't care. The flesh didn't matter.
Mm.
It's the same with the elect men. The flesh isn't going to matter when that time comes. You're going to know and you're going to get through it.
And the 2/3, they're going to actually come to failing because they're going to worry about the flesh.
Con.
Like, oh shit, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. Don't throw that rock.
And they say that, and this is Esau, but they say that you actually don't feel pain. The sensation of pain is from your past experiences and you anticipating it. So if you just go through it, most of the time you don't feel it.
Yeah, I've been hurt where I've split where I've been in a fight and I split my head. I don't feel pain at all. I feel release.
But when you anticipate that hit, you're like,
Yeah.
you'll feel it.
Yeah, you don't feel pain till later, actually, till the body actually registers.
Because you know it's there.
Mm-hmm. And then it's sore, because, you know.
Yeah, that's why the next day after a fight, you always feel worse.
Because you
Yeah,
can
and
focus
during
on
the
it
fight.
now. But when you're in it, you're in the spirit.
That John Gotti movie, they said, you killed somebody in that fight. And they didn't even know, because they were in the thinking, you know.
You weren't in the flesh at that moment.
Colin Townsend, you want to grab that Matthew 26:36?
26:36.
Yeah. And this is what the brother was talking about. And it's called Gethsemane. And Gethsemane actually means the oil press.
Con.
And this is when he was praying where he pretty much started to bleed blood out of his pores because he was in a stress. Yeah.
This is Matthew 26:36. Then cometh Yahushua with them unto the place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
And what that's showing too is there are certain men that he knew he took a little deeper in with him. The other men just stayed back. And then when you're in Jacob's trouble, you know what I mean? Like we're not all going to be alone together. Like the brother was saying, you know, you don't know where you're going to be or what's going to happen. So there are certain men that the Lord may, like Aaron. Didn't he grow weak without Moses? He needed Moses there for him, just like Moses needed Aaron to speak for him.
Con.
So the Lord's going to give us exactly what we need. But it don't mean you're not going to suffer something, because even Yahushua is under sorrowful and heavy stress right now. Go ahead.
Then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
So is he saying, oh, please, don't do this?
Not for me, but for
Come on,
you.
Lord, just send me the angels. Deliver me. Don't do this to your son.
So to let you know, he was pressed.
Yeah, no. He said, hey, whatever, let your will be done.
But if it is in your will,
Right, and that's how Job went
Like
about
Job, exactly.
it. Yeah,
God.
that's the spirit we got to be in. You know?
He's like, I was brought in this world naked. I'm going up
Not
naked.
naked.
You know?
And that's how you got to be single-minded. The 2/3 are double-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And he cometh unto the disciples, and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.
So even Peter, being King David, right?
God.
He didn't understand how serious the moment was. And he fell asleep. That's like you being on death row your last night and you're sleeping right there on me. You know? You got a chick, you about to go do life in prison. Hey, let me hit it one more time. And she don't, you know what I mean? She might let you play with her a little bit, but then
That's it.
you're like, fuck. And that's why you can't put your hope on no man but Yahweh Shem Yahshua, but Shem Kakurash. Because every other man is going to fail you.
God.
You know? And we got to actually fill our own vessels up. Because like we were saying, we don't know where we're going to be or what we're, you know, so every man has to have their own vessel filled with oil.
That oil.
Mm-hmm. You can't depend on another man's oil to get you through the night. Go ahead.
Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right, because it was tired. You know? Like in movies, they show them always like work, like through days, running through days. But in reality, your body gets tired and gets weak.
The spirit wants to keep going, but the
Yeah.
body's like, I'm done.
Yeah. But the spirit is where the faith dwells, you know?
Come.
Go ahead, brother.
And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand.
Hey,
and
sleep
the sun-
on. He's pretty much go home, go to bed, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
When I needed you, you wasn't there.
So now that you're tired, just go.
Just go to sleep, man. They came to get me.
And the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of the sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand.
And what's he
that
doing,
doeth
bro?
betray
He's
me.
rebuking them. Just like the outer apostles, they're rebuking these men for sleeping on the job.
Come.
They're supposed to be watchmen, right? Watching the elders back, prophesying the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast.
And if you're not on those lines and those camps, then hey, you're
sleeping. Yeah. Go ahead.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves,
There's those 2/3, bro, that's going to sell out the elect.
from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss,
What verse are you, brother?
48.
Okay.
Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast.
And there you go. We can stop there. But that's just to show that's the kiss of death, man. And 2/3 of our people are going to try to
Sell
get
us out, huh?
Are they gonna come to you with open arms saying, "Oh, we believe Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai," right?
your own family, bro. They're
Oh, what were you
come
preaching?
over. And next you know, fucking.
Give us the
Esau
word.
comes in and shoot you down.
Yeah.
And kills you.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the word.
Yeah.
Shalom. They're gonna do everything.
Oh yeah. Everything.
Because they're going to be paid off just like these guys.
Just
Oh,
like
their
me.
stomach's gonna be driving them too.
Yeah.
That lust for opportunity, bro. I was just watching Venezuela right now. There's people selling their kids, like I said, their daughters' asses, their sons' asses, made their own ass to eat because they're so hungry that all that so-called integrity they had,
Went out the door.
it's gone.
And Lord willing, in that day, Yahweh gives us that discretion to know which ones will put us in that situation. You know?
Right? Look at Samson. He was telling his woman all his secrets.
And she went and told was the Philistines.
Yeah.
Cut my hair.
Uh-huh.
That's how I lose my strength.
Yeah.
And he wakes up with his
And
haircut.
didn't he see her betrayal when he told her, "Oh, it's the rope, it's fresh rope," and he woke up. She tied him up while he was sleeping. But that's how hard-headed our people are. Is that we'll see a woman hurt us, but we'll still. Oh,
I still love you, baby.
Yeah. Because of the rebellion in us. But the elect, the elect though, they're building up that faith to walk away from it all.
That's how I feel lately too, man. I've been feeling real isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes back to two masters. You can only serve one. You know?
Right? And we just read Yahushua. He was isolated. He's in the Gethsemane all by himself, bro. Nobody's even up.
Not up.
Uh-uh.
He's over
Like
praying,
today,
sweating.
man, today's a good example. You know, people are families out celebrating, doing their Christmas thing, and you're
By
like this,
yourself.
you're just like asshole to them. Like, yeah, he you know, he's being an asshole. He's an asshole that wants to be alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, sometimes it takes an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
especially when times are tough.
And what does it mean though? Mean is balance.
It's balance.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't be like,
perfection.
"Oh, come on, honey, they're shooting at us. Please, let's get away." You gotta say, "Get the fuck on now." Like you gotta be brash sometimes.
Kind.
But you can't let out.
Rude in speech, but not in knowledge.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to save you. I don't have time to mix words. Either let's go or you get shot.
God, and that's in Jude actually, in the last verse. Let me get it real quick. You want to finish that chapter, brother?
Huh.
Let me grab this real quick. Go ahead. Let me see. Oh, right here. Jude, it's one chapter, I believe. Verse 21. Keep yourselves in love of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, looking for the mercy of our Master Yahushua HaMashiach unto eternal life. And of some have compassion, making a difference. Meaning it works. There's some you can talk to, right? And they understand. And others say with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. And that's right there. Some people hear it, they're easily persuaded.
So we gotta be a little rough.
Yeah, some of them, they might not wake up to Jacob's trouble till it all hits them.
Mhm.
They see the chip, oh, fuck, they were right.
Let me go get with them.
All right, no, I don't want chip. But then they have to face whatever consequences.
And their integrity has to stay true.
And it has to be a tight, you know what? It's just like if you fail the test, right? I used to work in a test plant for sewer pipes that they built. They would weld them, and they would have to test it. And if they failed, guess what? It had to go back and be retested, right? And that's exactly what's going to happen to these two there, man. We're being tested right now. Of course, the hour of temptation is that.
This is that practice, right?
Right.
That preparation.
Right.
Because we're already dealing with this sorrows. You know what I mean? The
Sparring.
bitterness.
When you go to a boxing match, most of those fighters spar many matches before they actually go to that ultimate match.
Come on.
You're tested multiple times already before. But then, what was Creed? Remember, have you guys seen the Creed? He goes in and he fails that first test, remember? And then when he comes back, he wins that ultimate test. But that first test,
Got his ass whooped.
he broke his ribs. Well, that's the 2/3 right there. You know what I mean? They're not prepared for that test. They're going to break. But the elect, they're going to be prepared through all this practice of
Our
righteousness.
faces will be hardened. You know?
Yeah, enduring. Yeah, that's what endurance actually goes back to, is to be hardened.
Come on.
That's why you actually heat up metal, is to make it more stronger.
To make it durable.
When they build swords, remember they would heat it up, put it in cold, heat it up, put it in cold. Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I was waiting for a time to bring it out. This is it. This is Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads.
And face goes back to what? Your presence, right? And what in Maccabees, remember it said that they were afraid because of the manliness.
As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears. And go get thee to them of the captivity unto the sons of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, Thus saith Yahweh, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Whether they hear or forbear. And that's the thing. We're not out there really saying, oh, well, you're an elect or you're not an elect. Really,
We're just giving the message.
you're just giving the message. Now, they actually are the ones that say yes or no.
The charge is on
And
them.
what does it say? They're rejected because they reject knowledge. You know, so their blood is upon their own head, and we're doing these videos and putting the word out there.
It's not on us.
It's not on us. Right.
But if a messenger or a watchman doesn't warn the city of a coming
You're
attack,
sleeping,
it's on you.
right?
But if you warn the city,
Oh, what is that? Actual murmuring actually goes back to treason also. Right, like a spy. A spy could murmur about the secrets.
because they're not out front about it, they're like, oh,
Yeah, like that one CIA guy that they got in Sweden now or Russia. He's on the hiding right now. He looks like an albino.
Oh, Snowden.
Yeah, Snowden. That's a murmur because he was in the government and he was leaking information
To everybody.
Right. That's a treason, and if you catch someone doing that, the law is even in this world dead.
And that's why he's over in all those other countries, because he doesn't want to face his judgment.
What is the two they're gonna do? They're gonna go with these other countries.
Other
Feed it.
nations,
Give me the chip. So
I don't
that
want
he
to
can
face my
try to
judgment.
escape judgment.
Con.
They even had a meme about gun owners. This dude wrote, the only reason why most people carry a gun is because they're afraid to take an ass beating. You know? Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's the same thing as a chip. They're going to try to take that chip.
Because they don't want to get an ass whooping.
Yeah, they don't want to repent. Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to get
Go
that?
ahead, brother.
No. This the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 35. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight,
Right, which was an Edomite.
and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or to die valiantly, he went into Antiochia and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he purposed to come again into Judea.
Right? Why? Because it scared him. He seen them. Wait, we need more men for these guys. Shit.
Oh, they coming like that?
Right. And he already defeated one of his army attacks with no weapon, remember? It was just terrifying of him. Why? Because once a man is set in his mind, bro.
That's scary.
Yeah. And he can't be negotiated with.
You can't buy him.
Yeah.
Can't trick him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the elect.
Right. You got more of that?
Second, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, 19. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience.
Torture. Some of us might have to be tortured for this truth.
Come on.
And they're going to test us to see if we keep our integrity.
The
Let's
Maccabees.
prove his patience.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they did to the Maccabees.
Yep.
Each brother, they made them all watch. And the one that told them to hold their integrity, even though it was of the father's will, it was the mother. The mother said, "Hey, do it for the Most High, do it for Yahweh."
That's showing that there is righteous spirits in women in certain times, man.
Come on.
You know?
Especially in times of trouble. The
Right.
righteous women will follow the righteous men where they have to.
Yeah, there's women of faith that do have faith. You know, not all women, and actually less women than men. Because we got that as a fact. When King Solomon, he said he's one out of 1,000, but a women, not even one out of 1,000.
That's Yahweh Shai speaking. You know?
Mm-hmm. There's no surprise why there's more women than men. At the odds like that.
Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine, and were deceived, for their own wickedness had blinded them. As for the mysteries of Yahweh, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness.
The chip, the RFID microchip, that's a mystery to 2/3 of our people.
Mm-hmm.
They know it not, and guess what? They're gonna take it.
A lot of them unknowingly, and a lot of them willingly, even though they know.
Which is willingly ignorant, because they are ignoring the
It
knowledge.
goes back to earlier. Keep bringing it up. That strong delusion that Yahweh put on.
And what delusion do they use the most? Paul's writings.
Mm-hmm.
They actually use the truth
To deceive themselves.
Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For Yahweh created man to be immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
And what is that? Pretty much they've been so worn down from the daily life duties that they really don't believe Yahushua is coming back anymore. You want to go to that 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3? They're pretty much like a dull knife, you know what I mean? They have no edge to themselves anymore.
And they don't want to be sharpened.
Yeah, it's too offensive.
It hurts.
They're too used to the heathen ways. You know?
I can't cut.
Oh, I knew a Jake, bro, that I used to work with, and he said every day he went home, he had a 12-pack of soda pop, he had his bong, and he had his video games. And I was like, every day you drink a 12-pack of pop? That's my number one. I was like,
I can't even get to the.
Like,
That
damn.
sounds like a lot of Jakes.
Yeah, and that's them right there.
That's how destroyed the 2/3 are. Though.
Yeah.
I know a Jake that would do it with Red Bull. A pack of Red Bull a day or a pack of
That
Monster
shit'll
a
kill
day.
you right away.
Oh, yeah. But don't break them. Don't sharpen them. Don't bring no wisdom. Nah, keep that to yourself.
I'm sinning.
What do they say? There's a saying that said, I had a friend that ran like you until he ran like you. Once you bring it to the light, I don't want to be friends with you no more.
Yeah, this truth separates you from the world.
Especially women.
God.
You know, because that light, they don't like that. That's why do women work in strip clubs in darkness?
Because it's so they don't have to see how ugly they truly are.
Right. Nobody gets to see.
Nobody
They
gets to see it.
themselves and also everybody else.
All the makeup, the perfume.
And then when, you know, as a single person right now, you get around them and this, just the mentality we have compared to where they are, it's like, man, it's almost impossible.
It's offensive,
It's
bro. It's really
offensive.
offensive to be around them, you know? The things they worry about, you're like, that's fucking worthless, man.
It's so vain, it's disgusting.
It hurts.
It hurts, con.
It's sad for, you know, they're just like,
But that's our woman.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3.
3 and 3.
And then I'll close out this chapter 2, there's only one verse left.
Comment.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world,
Ooh.
Hey, Cain.
Envy of the deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Them 2/3.
Right? They want to be, what do they say? There's a saying in the world. It's better to be on the side of the devil than
To be against him.
right in his way. Right? They said that on that movie, The Mummy. Remember when he got in cahoots with the mummy?
Con.
That little Arab? And he was like, it's better to be on the side of the devil than in his way. That's how the 2/3 thinking.
Not knowing the devil's master or Shaitan's master is your power.
And you know why? Because in their mind, they think the so-called white man is ultimate.
Con.
Who could bring him down?
Who brought him
Make
up?
war with the beast.
Yeah.
Who made the beast?
Mhm.
That's the questions they really need to be
They're
asking.
drunk on that Babylon juice. You know?
Con.
It's a little too much Babylon juice to drink, huh?
This is 2 Peter 3 and 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last day scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since our fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were
Right
from
there.
the beginning.
See, they're Israelites. They know the prophecies. Oh, Yahushua is coming back, or Jesus is coming back, but they don't truly believe. Go ahead. Because the offenses of this world, like we said, every day they're going. They might have been offended. Oh, I went to Christian. I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was this. I was that. So that seals their conscience shut, where they don't give a fuck no more. Don't tell me none of it. You know. Like you said, talking to women, bro. Number one thing that women hate talking about is God. Don't tell me about God.
I know God.
Yeah.
I got my own beliefs.
Yeah. My babies come first.
Yeah.
I'm a good woman.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know? No correction at all.
Con.
From the beginnings of the creation, for this they willingly are ignorant of that
So-
by the
Hold on. For this, this is why they are actually ignorant. This is the reason why. Go ahead.
For this they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water. Whereby the world then was, being overflowed with water, perished, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men.
That's the reason why. They don't want to face the judgment.
Because they knew it happened once and they know it's going to happen again.
Right.
The same word.
Just like I was reading up that meme. Most people walk around with a gun because they don't want to take an ass kicking. They want to run their mouths and not get checked for it. That's the same thing as a 2/3. A 2/3 wants to do all this sin, but don't tell me about God because I know He's going to have to be judging. Or what do they say? Don't judge others.
Only God can judge.
Yeah, only God can judge.
You don't want that judgment.
Mm-hmm. That's why you need to be judged because
That's
you're
why
not.
you need to be rebuked now, before
Come.
you get judged by Yahweh.
Grab that 1 Corinthians, examine yourselves. That's a good closing one. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day.
And that's the problem that they don't get. They don't understand that time. They think it's going to go on forever, but really we're at the end of time. Because it's been like over 2,000 years. It's like 2 days for him, and it's like 2,000 years for us. But to us, it's like, oh, it's going to go forever. They think 65 million years. You know what I mean?
What's another million?
Yeah. Shit. And what they don't get is they're going to miss out on that glory,
Con.
which is going to last for 1,000 years where we get to fuck up Esau, man. That's going to be a good thing. It's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. But 2/3 of our people are not going to get that privilege.
Because they reject it right now.
Right. So they're going to be put to death, and they're pretty much going to either be sleeping or come back as children in that time, not really getting that glory. Like they say, the good old days. You know what I'm saying? That's what Esau is. All the good old days. That's how the 2/3 are going to be like, wow. You know, the elect are going to get that chance to kick Esau's ass, man. And heathens. You know, because after that 1,000 years, they go back what? To their own land. Except for Esau. Esau's going to be done away with. Well, in that 1,000 years, a lot of the 2/3 are still going to be sleeping. You know what I mean?
Come.
Because they ain't been birthed back yet. Keep going on that little more.
The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but his long suffering is usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
Once again, he does not want even the 2/3 to perish, but they have to perish because they reject the truth.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Come, right?
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
Meaning no one will know when. It's going to be unexpected. That's why you're supposed
Unannounced.
to, right? You're supposed to be ready now. You know, that's what we've been talking about. Get ready now. Right?
And the which of heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with the fervent heat.
Right. Hey, that's why Lot's wife, what did she do? She looked back at a place that was being destroyed. Fuck this shit. You know? You got attachment. What? Even the movie. Go ahead.
That would be like one of us going back to the world, you know?
Right.
Like Lot's wife.
At the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Heat, that movie Heat. The head guy that the police couldn't catch was played by Robert De Niro.
Come.
He said, why are you so hard to catch? And he said, because there's nothing I am not able to walk away from. Most men, my wife, my kids, he's like, I ain't got nothing.
I can walk away from all of it.
Yeah, I don't even need the money. I could walk away from the money and do another.
He's that good.
Yeah, he don't need nothing. And that's how Yahushua was in Matthew 4, where he was in the wilderness. He fasted for 40 days and 40 nights.
Tempted.
Yeah, he didn't need nothing. He didn't care about eating no more. But then what did Satan do? Tempt him on suicide, right? Tempt him on, oh, well, I'll give you the kingdoms.
I already got it.
I don't even want that shit right now. It's all carnal.
Come.
Yeah. That's why we know, hey, they try to take our life in one day. Go ahead. Do what you're going to do. But we got the kingdom coming, and it's forever.
Come.
That's like us in this truth, man. We like, I'll give you an example. I try to watch football games. You know, I used to be a fanatic, you know. And now I try to watch football games, and I'm really like, it doesn't give me the same pleasure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just literally, and I'm glad, you know, but it's like a sign, you know, for me. I'm really growing up in this truth, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because the things that I used to find appealing, it's not the same, you know what I mean?
No, and
Or when you're doing something, if you guys probably could testify to this, you're doing something, you know, whatever it is, and you're like, man, I should be soaking in this word, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm wasting my time, even watching TV sometimes, you know, like, man, this is not worth it. I'm just going to get in the book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that shows the maturity of a man, because like a child, right? What did he say? When I was a child, I done childish things. But when I became a man, I put those childish things away. And that's what is 2/3 of our people, they're feminine children. That's why they need a daddy Esau, and they're going to take that shit because they really, it's like if a child was left alone, he would have to go with an adoption family just to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they're too young to actually go to work or even know better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
like 2 years ago, you know, whatever, I would have been door dashing on a Monday night Bronco football game, you know what I mean? And I was like, I care less.
You feel like you're missing out.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Me was going out to the bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd be feeling like I was missing out. Now I feel like I'm missing out when I want to catch the elders cat.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know? And I'm like, oh, I gotta catch it. And then, you know what I mean?
Get that notification.
Yeah.
Live.
It's a completely different value system.
Come on. And every brother has that personal testimony to where before our values weren't set toward this truth.
No, we had the 2/3.
We had that 2/3 mentality.
Yeah.
Which lets you know that this is all the spirit.
Yeah, this is that. I'll bring it out real quick, just because since we're talking about it.
Go ahead, read real quick and finish.
Go ahead and finish that.
You don't have to rush. I mean, real quick.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Right? Why? Because everything's going to be burnt up. That's really why we don't care about that shit no more. Who gives a fuck about the bars or the football? When you really learn that it's all deception to you. It's actually poison to keep you asleep.
Come.
Go ahead, bro.
Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look.
According to his promise, meaning you got to believe that this word is true. And you can't buy that. You actually got to be given it from Yahweh.
The gift of faith.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Boom. Why are we practicing righteous acts? Because the kingdom of heaven is more than eating and drinking the finest foods and wines. It's actually righteousness. You got a second one?
This is Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world.
Oh, that's beautiful. I just brought that out in the sit down just before you got here. That's the spirit. Do not conform. And conform means with form, which is to take on
This world, yeah.
Yeah.
Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
And see, that's the two-third mentality. They want to just be accepted. Right? That's why you got fucking Jersey Shore and all this shit. They're doing stupid shit just to be accepted. Right? But the elect, it says transformed, which means to be changed from this world.
Come.
Yeah, the renewing of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Now let's go one more.
Mm-hmm.
For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Yahweh hath dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Right? And measure, that's a standard right there. And that's exactly what the laws are, is a standard that are set up. But most of all, they're actually a prophecy of what's to come. And that's the kingdom, but also Yahweh Shai, our master. That's why we're practicing the righteous acts. What are the righteous acts? It's prophesying in sincerity, without deceit. Because our master is the truth, the way, the life. So if you want to be in that path, you actually got to be operating at the same standard. Now let me get one more step, then you pull that out.
Come.
This is Genesis. Did you have anything you want to say?
No, that was it on that.
Okay. This is Genesis 3, 2, verse 24. Therefore shall not that one. I'm sorry. It's 3. That's right. It's 3 and 3 and 23. Therefore, no, it's 22. And Yahweh's Elohim said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life, which is Yahweh Shai, through the understanding of the Holy Scriptures, and eat, like the brother always bringing out, eat that whole roll, and live forever. Therefore, Yahweh's power, Elohim, set him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims, which are angels, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. All right? Now, at one time, those angels were to keep us out of the way, right? So we can stay in darkness. But now that it's being revealed, right? Guess what those flaming swords are for now? Is to keep the way. Hey, this is the way.
To guide you.
Right. So that's why the Holy Spirit was once used to blind you, but now the Holy Spirit is used to awake you.
Come on.
This is that time.
Mm-hmm. But now we have an obligation because we know good and evil now. Like you said, now you're able to judge with a whole different, view of life. But now our obligation is to take of that tree of life and eat, which is Yahushai, right? Which the laws are what? Prophecy of Yahushai. The commandments, the statutes, and the judgments.
And there's a time for everything.
Right.
Like it says in
Right, a season.
a season for
Right?
everything.
You got to grow into it.
Ecclesiastes 3
Mhm.
and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right. Let's see here. You want me to get that 2 Corinthians?
Yeah.
And, let me get this right before, because this will go right with it. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4, and I'll start at verse 12. It says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity."
Brother, if I can say, be an example, right, of the believers. Job was an example of a great believer.
Noah.
Right, Noah. They all are apostles. They're standing today as testimonies of faith.
Con.
Mm-hmm.
In spirit, in faith, in purity, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. Neglect not the gift that is
And you notice it said doctrine, not doctrines.
Con.
And even the rape, so-called doctrine, it's all part of the gospel. It's not a doctrine of its own.
Con. Verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hands of the presbytery. Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Right. And you know what that was just bringing up too? We expect the worst, but we're hoping for the best. And most likely, we're going to get the good out of it because the Lord says He works all things for our goodness.
God.
So, like we were saying, some men might have to be tortured for this testimony. Some men may have to die for this testimony, but not all of us. And some of us are going to escape and actually prosper in that time of Jacob's trouble. Because even the ones that die, there's no honor greater than dying for this truth.
And we brought it out in the last camp that hey, it's a rare thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, but it's a rarity.
Just to edify you in that, Romans 5 is what it is. Let me grab that. Romans 5, verse 7. For scarcely for a righteous man will one die, yet peradventure for a good man some would even dare to die. And peradventure means danger. Like Paul, he knew they were going to kill him in Rome, but he went to do what? Testify, to prophesy.
Because it was greater for him to do that than to flee from it.
Hey, you know what? Fuck the danger. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We've done that here in these camps, remember? There's been times where we go out into a certain spot. Hey, we might get attacked, but fuck it, let's do it. And hey, you know what happens? The Lord gives us the understanding. We dip out of there. We dust our shoes off to it. But that's the same thing. But the Lord has a hedge around us to protect us. And those angels are the Holy Spirit, and no weapon formed against us can prosper. And like we've been bringing out, if a man is established to die for this truth, no one's going to have to hold his hand. You know, no one had to hold Yahushai's hand. We just read all the apostles were falling asleep on him. They denied him. Peter denied him. So the elect men that are that's their lot, they're not going to need no one to hold their hand. The Lord's going to be with them, and they're going to walk right through it, very honorable. But what we got to worry about is playing our position. You know, and if that's whatever it is, you got to do it to the best of your ability for Yahweh, Yahushai, Bashar, Makakudash. You know, don't be that servant that hid his talent. You know, the Lord gave you 50 talents, use them up, and create more talent. You know, bring more home, investment. You know, also if the Lord gave you one talent, don't just bury it and hide it. Oh, I know the truth. I know I'm an Israelite. But then, are you teaching?
Harvested, water, you know?
Yeah, are you teaching who is Israelite? You understand the Israelites. Are you telling others who are Israelites? You know, are you waking them up? You got to invest those talents back, man. Go ahead, brother.
No, this is out of the book of 2 Corinthians.
And that's what we're doing right now, actually. Actually, right now, as we're doing these videos, we're investing the talents we have.
2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves, whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves.
Right. Like I was bringing out earlier. You know, in Jacob's trouble, we can't think we're all going to be together. So prove your own self. Make sure your vessel is filled with oil. You know?
Let not thy words depart from thy mouth.
Hey, that's a man's thing though. You go to a job and you bring lunch, ain't too fucking bad, but you ain't eating my lunch.
Now, if somebody offers to pay for you, then hey, they offer.
But like a child, right?
It.
Don't they at school? Oh, you forgot lunch. They can't let them go hungry. But when you get into the real world, your job don't give a fuck about you.
You better be back in that 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Food or no, and I've gone through that. I've had people on my job coming, hey, you ain't eating. I'm like, well, I didn't bring lunch. It happens.
You got to deal with it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
That's what a man
does.
But
a child,
oh man,
right? He expects, give me something, right? At school even, they won't let him go hungry.
No, the free lunch program.
Yeah, the free lunch program. Exactly. Why are they're going to take that chip for that free lunch program?
Not knowing the Most High had lunch for him right, if you just waited 2 more seconds.
Yep.
It says, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates?
Right. So reprobating is disapproved of. And what he's saying is, do you not even know if you have the Holy Spirit? Because if you don't know that, then you better start questioning some things.
You might be a reprobate.
Right.
But I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates.
Right. Because why? Because we're teaching, we're understanding.
Practicing.
Yeah, those righteous acts. Especially if we know that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. And you see others that don't know, right? That's what he's saying. We are not reprobates. We know
you see reprobates.
Yeah.
It says, now I pray to power that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, though we be as reprobates.
Right, though the world rejects us, we should be honest. Why? For our conscience sake. Jacob, he probably could have stolen. He probably had many opportunities to do things. But what did he do? He kept his integrity.
And kept on working.
Job, to most people's eyes, he had every reason to ask why. You know? But the Lord kept him in his integrity. And eventually the Lord answered him. Remember at the end of Job, the Lord explained it. Were you there when I put up the stars, into the heavens?
I created behemoth.
Yeah.
He broke it down to him.
And so guess what? No, I wasn't. So then who were you?
To question me.
Yeah.
That's the mentality we need to have. We can't question Yahweh. Just harden yourself and get through it, you know?
Right.
What was it? It's in Romans. This is Romans chapter 11, verse 34. It says, for who hath known the mind of Yahweh, or who hath been his counselor?
Mm-hmm. And if you know his counsel, Satan's part of that counsel. So then you got to know good and evil is going to come upon each man. And that's why, what do? We store up oil because we expect that evil to come. You know? That's why we're prophesying. What are we prophesying? Death and destruction that are to come, like no other time.
Thus saith the scriptures.
Yeah.
Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
Come.
And we're seeing something that's yet to come. These 2/3, it's going to hit them like in a moment. They're going to see it and they're going to freak out, you know?
Oh, I would say it's going to hit them like a ton of bricks. No one ever expects a ton of bricks to be thrown at them.
Oh, just think about it when Noah's flood. The time of Noah, when the flood came.
And it didn't stop.
It never rained.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it rains today.
It's been 100 years. No, it's been 100 years.
Yeah, 120.
Come on, Noah.
You've been building that boat.
Stop it. And then when the boat's finally done.
Bro, they even seen the animals get on the.
Come on, stop.
And most, you can tell something's happening when the animals do certain things.
Come on.
Because they have senses. They
Yeah.
sense it.
They have more sense than the 2/3, bro.
Con.
Verse 8 in 2 Corinthians chapter 13, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
But for the truth, right? And even reprobates, they're part of the truth. It said that there'll be a reprobate amongst Israel, right?
That's true.
Right, that's truth. And that's actually edifying the truth.
Huh.
But it also edifies who the elect are, because you shall know them by their fruits.
Huh.
And the fruits aren't always a physical, like keeping of the commandment. It's actually bearing this truth and actual sincerity. You know, there's a man that could grow a beard, like the Jewish. You see Jewish with beards, right? But it don't mean they're sincere.
Huh.
You know, Esau, you see Esau might tithe at their so-called Christian church, go feed the poor, but it ain't because they're sincere. You know?
It's just for a show for a lot of cases.
It's carnal, yeah. That's all it is. And that's why Paul, what was Paul? Paul was a Pharisee, right?
Huh.
A Pharisee of Pharisees.
Pharisees, he was like that
And what did he
one.
say? All that was nothing to realize the truth about Yahushua. And who was he sent to? The Gentile, which were Pharisees' enemies in that time. The Pharisees didn't have no
Dealings
uh-uh.
with the Gentiles.
And that was edifying. That's that fruit.
Mm-hmm.
He's dealing with, like you were saying, you used to be dealing with something way back then. Now you're in a whole different level. You know?
Mhm.
That's how I think about Al Tahar and them. They were talking about Christmas on the cap, and someone wrote on there, do you celebrate Christmas?
So fuck
I don't think so. You know what I mean? Come on now. Can you see Outer Apostle Tahar or any of the Outer?
Wearing a Christmas sweater.
Yeah, even if they had kids, bro. I can't see it.
I can see him reading the Bible and teaching them why Christmas is bad.
Yeah, but you don't see them engaging in that kind of custom.
Huh.
Right? And that, what did it say, the first part you just read? Example.
Examine ourselves whether you be. Let me get it. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves.
Con. And what are we, when you examine yourself, what standard is there set? You're not supposed to examine yourself towards another man, but Yahushua. He is that standard
And he is the law.
of perfection.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Con. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and close out. We want to give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham, Racha, Kwadash.
Double honors to our elder apostles who rule great no storm out, and shalom to the elect. May you endure to the end. Shalom.
Shalom.